Hi folks, Lou here, and the topic is the little section on a game box, tabletop game box, that says how long the game takes to play. What do you put there? Do you put the average for experts? Do you put the average for inexperienced players? Do you put the shortest play ever? I'll give you an example, and again, as usual, I take it from my own games, in this case, Britannia. Britannia, as played in tournaments, is a 4 to 5 hour game. The shortest game I have ever seen was 3 hours. But that's pretty much an outlier. Generally, 4 to 5 is where you're going to be. But if it's being played by novices, especially if nobody has played it before, we are talking about a 7 to 8 hour game. So what would you put on the box? Keep in mind, there's a tremendous incentive to have a shorter play time on the box because contemporary players really want to play shorter games. To the extent that if they get in a game that's longer and they like it, they'll be okay with it. But if you tell them ahead of time it's going to take, say, 2 hours, some of them will not play. I remember years ago being at a meeting of designers, and one fellow says, I want to play games all day, but I don't want to play a game that lasts more than an hour. What? This is not my point of view, but that was his point of view. So, for Britannia, do we put 7 to 8 hours? Do we put 4 to 5 hours? Do we put 3 hours? I think you have to put the average for people who have played the game several times, which runs into the 4 to 5 hour category in the case of Britannia. Let's take another example, a prototype, Conquer Britannia. I aimed at 90 minutes to 2 hours, and it usually works out that way, but the shortest game I've ever seen was 84 minutes. So what do you put on the box? I think you put 90 to 120 minutes. You don't put 84 minutes or anything like that. And no doubt, if you have deliberate players, it'll last more than 2 hours, or it certainly can. I wouldn't put more than 2 hours either. In other words, I'm putting what's typical for people who played the game. And that seems to me to be the proper thing to do, but I'm not sure that all game publishers do that. I think sometimes they err on the side of shortness. Now, we have no control over that. If publishers want to tell white lies, they're going to tell white lies. Thanks for listening.